All right, I think we are just about ready to get started here. In uno momento. So, on this stream, I decided to do something not quite as temperamental as volcanoes and a castle made of lava. I thought, thinking about Darkhaven, the what we do know about the lore, it's fairly limited right now. But we do know that it is set in a post-cataclysmic world. And that got me thinking about the starter area here with Lum. You can see I've already got a little bit of a start on this idea, but what did it look like before the fall? Let's say Lum is standing on an ancient ruin in the starting area of the game, so what if it was kind of like Atlantis before whatever happened that made the world the way it is in the game for us? So I'm going to attempt to create a scene of Lumlantis. Could be interesting. Oh, by the way, do this. Do this. See that? Do it. Do it. Do it. Jack and Coke. Do it. Do it. All right. So, get a zoom out here. I've essentially leveled the area around here to give us a starting palette. This is just hardened lava all around, and I'm gonna gradually build up and tear down different parts of this area until we get this looking like something that could have existed in Atlantis. Yes, Plato's Atlantis, that Atlantis, but this is going to be Lumlantis. So, I may not talk a ton as I'm building this, because I tend to get kind of distracted when I talk a ton. But if you want to ask anything or say anything, or you're curious about the builder, I'm here to teach, primarily by demonstration, but also through explanation where I know. Caveat to that, I am also learning. This editor, as of now, is partially implemented. It's not a full tool yet, and it's undocumented. So I'm figuring it out as I go. Or it may well be documented, but only inside of Moonbeast. We do not have publicly available documentation yet for this build tool. So, let's see. I'm going to get rid of this selection because I feel like I don't need it now. It's just going to mess me up. So, we have the edit selection tool. It's very cool. If I wanted to add things to the selection, I can. So I could draw a whole bunch of different areas, and then I can work with terrain and tiles on my selection, and it's going to work in its appropriate way wherever there is selection, as long as you turn on. So after you've made the selection you want, you hit use selection. Now whatever you do is going to be targeting all the selected areas. But right now, we want to just deselect. So if you right click and drag over the areas that you click to drag, then you remove them from the selection. So we get everything deselected here. And I'm going to do some fine-tuned detailing here. I'm building this kind of platform. I'm not exactly sure what's going to go on it yet. I'm thinking it's going to be some kind of, it's going to be like a I don't know, some kind of, maybe one of the Cthulhu looking idols, or not Cthulhu, but Lovecrafty kind of old god idols, or maybe something else. I don't know, maybe maybe a shrine piece. You know what, maybe I'll just put that there right now. I think that's going to be the thing. I've used those a lot, the idols, so let's do something different. We'll just go through our little browser here. I think the shrine, I think that makes sense here, doesn't it? If I can get it to sit right. This might need to be on a 3x3 square. It's okay. It hangs off the back a little on the 2x2. Nope, nope, that's not where we want it. So like I said, this is a learning process here. Oh, all right. I think I had it as, maybe we don't use this here. Oh, come on now. I've noticed sometimes you can't place it if it's already there. Okay, so the square, see, the outline of the object itself is not necessarily where it's going to go. It's more about where that little square is. You know, this is weird. I had it sitting up there and now I don't. All right, you know what? We won't worry about that. We'll come back and put something up there later. It doesn't necessarily have to be that. All right, so let's get this filled in. And you can do this in bigger chunks, but I'm just going slow because I want to make sure it comes out exactly how I want it. And for now, I'm just going to take these out. I can add new set dressing in later. Maybe this will go up there for now. That's a good one for now. All right, let's see here. Does that look centered? No, it's off, isn't it? Maybe there? It's still, I don't know, it still feels kind of, you know, I gotta stand on it. Or stand where I feel like the center is. Oh, maybe that is centered. Oh, it looks pretty decent. Then is this centered though? Because this looks off. That I know is off. I did that intentionally. Oops. That's not what I want to do. Right. You know what? It really doesn't matter if that's centered because I'm thinking that's not going to be... Maybe that's not going to be a central thing anyways. Okay. So now comes an experimental part. I have not quite yet figured it out, but in the tool, we're working with tile sets. We have these things. Blocks and slopes. So what I want to do is see how I have this big chunky stuff here, but I want to have a small platform in front of this with stairs in front of it. So I'm not sure right off the bat what's the best way to do that. So let's mess around. Okay, that gave us stairs. We don't want that. Aha! Okay. Nope. Okay, let's just quickly change this to deposit. Go here. Dig this out. Because we don't want stairs there. Alright, I think if we get that one level below, go back to this. No? Come on. I just wanted to give me one more set down. Mm. Go! Okay, this is getting kind of interesting. Look what it did. Kind of just want this, but higher up. Alright, so let's go to normal. Deposit. Oh, this could get interesting. What if we... Okay, yeah, that doesn't do anything. Can I turn this? No, it doesn't work the way the objects do. You can't turn it. I want this to go that way. Doesn't rotate though. Maybe if I do the platform first. Okay, that's kind of interesting. I could live with that. Alright, let's go to normal deposit. Oh, that side is higher. just make this a little consistent with the other corners. Okay. All right. Now, I would just love it if I could get this. If I could get that to go lower. Doesn't want to do it. How can I get this to come down to the level of the floor? Every time I try to do it, it goes wonky on me. Maybe we just have to accept that this is a perpetually floating thing. Let's try taking out 2. Putting in 1. It just doesn't want to let us. Okay, we got that level. I can't get it to add just one here. I want it to be like this one. It doesn't seem to want to do it. Level and brush size of 2 and do all 4 at once. The 2 is going to be 3 squares unless I use the select tool. But I'm trying to achieve different height on every square. See, I just want this side and this side to behave the same way. There's got to be some logic to it. Like, it's trying to match things around it. That much is clear, but how you get it to determine what it tries to match, I haven't figured out. Maybe. Haha! Level. Okay. And level instead of deposit. I wonder if that would work here too. Hey, now we're talking. Look at that. We got it all the way down to the bottom. What happens if I go here? Okay, so there has to be a hole in front of that, I guess. That's interesting. Okay, so it just doesn't ever want to make this line up with a tile down here. Like, no matter what I do down here, as soon as I put something in there, the other parts of it want to raise up and be somewhere else. All right, let's go to deposit. Let's go to normal block. Yeah, definitely, right? That's why at the beginning of the stream I said I'm doing this to teach but also to learn, right? Because basically if you want to watch this stream, you're just getting an opportunity to watch me learn in real time. So you might learn something, I might learn something. It's an educational experiment. All right. Wait, we don't want level now. We want to take that out. Then we want to put level on and bing. All right. Yeah, it would be helpful if there was some documentation for this, but I think honestly, like going by the reaction that they had in Discord when we started posting the images, I don't think they expected people to find this really, or if they did, to do the kind of stuff that we've been doing with it. So, and you know, with the demo and the Kickstarter and all the things they got going on, it's not surprising to me that they haven't really focused a huge effort on making documentation for us to monkey around with this stuff. But I don't mind. I love discovery. I love discovery, and I can do it here in the editor just as well as in game, so I'm all about it. Yeah. Well, you gotta figure it out first. All right. So I have an idea for this. I could do what I want to do is do a pool around the stairs, but I want to have some walk area to get to the base of the stairs that's not part of the pool. All right, let's go to deposit. We'll go on normal. We're not doing the leveling. All right, so as soon as I put something solid in front of this step, it doesn't like it. What if I go back to here and I say level and I put that there? Okay, it's getting interesting now. But it's taken out my stairs on the sides. Oh, and my whole platform is crooked, isn't it? What's going on here? Why do I have... Okay, so ultimately what I want here is a solid floor. Everything is perfect except for that, but as soon as I put a solid floor here, it doesn't let me do tiles. It doesn't let me do stairs here anymore. Alright, you know what? We're just gonna adjust the lore to fit the world here. You have to walk through the sacred pool to step on the stairs to approach the shrine here. I think that's the play. We can't make the world match the idea, we'll make the idea match the world. Alright. Let's go down. We might have gone a little too much water there. Oh no, that's okay. That's settling. That's about where we want it. Although, is the water flowing down below the stairs? Is it going to flow out the back wall somewhere over here? No. Alright, so we got this ginormous thing. That's good. And let's see here. I think old Lum's gonna live here. Stash is gonna live there. Oh, why do we have to? Oh, that's not the stash. That's the ye old magic-y treasure boxy. Where should that go? You know what? I think maybe we will use an editor at selection, and we'll go here. And we'll use the selection, and we'll go to tile tool set. That kind of worked. Now I need these to be the All right, that's kind of cool. All right, so we're going to change this around a little bit. Lum now has his own little platform here. And your stash and your starter kit. All right. And let's see, we don't need 2 of these in the world. Or that. And we don't need these items or these monsters. Monsters are going to come and wreak havoc on us at some point. Alright, so one tiny little piece of Lumlantis. We've got a nice place for him to be. He's chilling. And I think now, given this pad, actually, maybe, I still don't know what to do with it. All right, we'll have to think about that. Get this back to normal building and back to normal depositing. Brush size 1, stack size 1. All right. I think we're gonna. Oh. Just 1, not 2. Oh, come on. Get rid of our selection just in case that was something to do with anything. I don't know why it insists on putting 2. That's something I gotta figure out. I have to have precise control. I have to be able to say I want 1 layer here, not 2. And I'm not, maybe extend stack? I don't think that does it though. No, that's not it. It's just doing 2. Why is it 2? Interesting. So level kind of works, I guess, ish. Two out, 2 on. two out. Actually, no, we're just gonna do the whole outer perimeter be one level higher. This would actually be a great time for using the editor. So with the editor, we can say start with the whole square. And then we can say we want to take everything but the outer one square out of the selector. Now we've got all that selected. Now if there's areas we don't want to raise up, we can click those tiles to remove them from the selection. In this particular case, I'm not entirely sure that this is more efficient than... Oh, we can do that too. I'm stupid. I don't have to click every single one. So yeah, you can just draw areas you want to deselect. Alright, now let's put it on use selection. Does that look like it's doing what we want it to do? Okay, no, because we don't want literally any of this stuff selected. Nope. We don't want these corner pieces. I guess I could have just done... I probably should have just done selections for the sections that I wanted instead of doing all this. But I was thinking I wanted to show the... how to create a space and then chip out of it. That's how I did some of that. Like the shark that I did on the mini-map. That's how I did the shark. I drew basic shapes and then I chunked pixels out of it. So that was basically just a 16 by 16 pixel sprite that I replicated with map colors. All right, so now that we got this, and so, all right, if I just go with deposit, I think clicking anywhere in here should make it go everywhere. No, it doesn't do it. So this has been kind of weird sometimes. So I can go to a huge brush size. Oh, why is... Oh, because I'm not... Yeah, you have to remember to switch from edit selection to use selection. Otherwise, nothing that you do takes. Alright. So this should put one layer everywhere that is selected. Yes, it did. Okay, there we go. But looks like I didn't take... Oh no, it put 2 layers, didn't it? No, it put 1. Had I... Oh, I had it... That side had something higher in it, in that section. Alright. Yeah, so people have seen the stuff that I created and maybe just thinking, oh my god, that guy knows how to do everything. But no, it's this. It's hours and hours of sitting here putzing with this thing, learning it. So once I've made every mistake that there is to make in this editor, then I'll know, then I'll be a master of it. I'll know how to do it. That's one way to learn, my friends. One way to learn. Make every mistake there is and remember them. So, alright, first things first, let's get rid of this selection so we don't screw things up worse. So we got a little bit of unintended behavior here. What we wanted to do was make the whole thing look like this left side. But what we got on the right side was something different, and I think that that was because there was a couple tiles that were higher over here. So let's try, we're going to try just editing selection. We're just going to add in the stuff where we want to take out one layer. We're going to keep it on deposit. Keep the 1 and 1, and we're going to just left click in here and see if that does it. Oh wait, nope, we have to switch to use selection. There we go. And that mostly worked, although I selected a couple tiles over here that I shouldn't have, so let's just get rid of our selection again. Oops. And it's going to be pretty easy to manually fix those things. Or no, is that how I wanted it? That is how I wanted it. Alright, I need to get the character back in the center of the platform so I can view all sides evenly. Yep, that is what we were after. This is a little weird. I think this has to copy. I have to do something here. This doesn't feel right. Partially because I decided to make that off-center for effect. So maybe we just finish that effect. There's 3 by 3, is it not? Yes. Okay, and I want to try an experiment here. We'll go to here, we'll go to use selection, put it there, do level and padding. Actually, you know what? What if I don't use the selection? If I do level and padding with a brush size of 1, is that gonna, if I deposit, or if I put this here, is it gonna make stairs around it? No. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. All right, let's... So why did it make stairs here and not on that side? Like, what's the difference? What's telling it to do that? All right. Take this guy. All right. That's mostly centered. Good enough. All right, so what if I do this? Interesting. Let's take it back to here, go to deposit, chunk them out. I really need a Control Z for this though, that would be super nice. Alright. It's Atlantis, right? They gotta have water. There's gotta be a love of water in this culture. Everything, water has to be very important. Everything really critical has to be surrounded by water. That's their thing. That's their gig. Alright. At least in my little fictional idea of how this is. Alright. Let's get rid of some of this stuff. So now over here, I had the idea of wanting to do stairs, but I think I may well just construct them. Like, I don't think I'm going to mess with this kind of stairs here, because the idea here was that this is going to be stairs that go down to a dock, a platform where a ship would come to this island. And yes, when I said Atlantis, I meant it quite literally. It's going to be an island. The other thing I really need to do, aside from a Control Z, is I really need to figure out how to move my character in the editor without having to toggle it off. It seems from the controls that that's something that you can do, but I don't know. I don't know if that's accurate. Alright, so in order to do anything here, we're going to need to get some ground first. So let's get some terrain. And I think let's do, yeah, why not? Let's do the lavaza. Hot lava crust. Alright, and let's see, what does that look like? Does that look like 3, 4? Let's try 4. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. Alright, fine, doesn't matter. Alright, let's get our selection tool. Use our selection. And get this lined up. That looks about the same, right? Oh no, one more layer here. We gotta take that out of selection. No, we can just delete it afterwards. One more click. Oh god! I still had my fountain selected. Oh dear. Alright. That's going to be interesting. So let us remove this from the selection. And let's use selection and keep this. And then we're just going to come over here. Make this one just to be safe and try just deleting the lava. It should, there we go, yeah, it deleted one every time we clicked. Is that thing floating higher than it should be? I don't think so, right? Oh no, but we nuked our wall, we nuked our tile. Ah. And that tile is so finicky to get that stair pattern back too. Alright, well, we're going to have to worry about that later. For now, let's just say we're going to take everything out of the selection again. Alright. And we're just going to paint some lava here. Normally. Oh, actually, I think we're fine. Okay, so this, we just need to take one layer off from here. Go back to our terrain tool, get rid of the editor, keep it on lava, set it to brush size of 2 with the same elevation delta. And it's hard to see exactly. Oh yeah, this is weird. We're just gonna go 1, 2, I'm gonna try to level this out. It naturally tries to be natural, so it will try to level things out for you, which can create some unpredictable. It's great when you're trying to create a natural looking world because it fills it in a way that's natural, but when you're trying to do something like when you're trying to create a precise level, I guess maybe that's, yeah, I'm so stupid. I need it to be precisely level. Use the level tool, dumbass. Alright. Oh no! What are we doing? Oh, we just took out a huge chunk of our wall. Alright, destruction of Atlantis has begun before it was even finished being built. But you know what? I almost like that. Maybe that's a feature, not a bug too. But that piece has got to go back. But maybe, oh no. Yeah, I think we're gonna replace that. That's the problem. When you need to build a wall on top of it, you need it to be level. At least we have something to follow from the other side. Oh, we're back to this again. Something's not right there, huh? That's because the ground's not level underneath it. That's alright. We're just going to accept that imperfection. See how that is? It's because of the ground here. Oh, and I made this too narrow now. I made it only 2 wide instead of 3 like it was before. That's perfect. That's good. We like that. Alright, I think that's going to be good. You know what? This does actually need to be wider. I hate to have to do this, but this doesn't feel right for a stairs going down to a ship platform. They should be wider because you're going to have cargo going in and out of here. So this is actually not acceptable. Oh, that's interesting. That is a good thing to know. Alright, that feels better. Alright, that's what we want. Okay, so now this has been bugging me. I built this a long time ago, but it needs to not be here. Tile set. Go brush size. Pause it. Bye-bye. Gotta get rid of the tile first. Then we can go to terrain. Go to our, where's the scorched? All right, this up. All right. So now it's time. You know, this is another thing that would be cool. It would be really cool if there was a, and it might be here. So when I say it'd be cool if, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It just means that I haven't found it. So with the terrain and the tile sets, you essentially can grab a brush, right? And I can say, I can right click on this and it is going to remove terrain. Or if I click on it, it's going to add terrain. Now, you probably wouldn't want to add items by brush, but it would be really cool if I could remove items by brush, because then I wouldn't have to do what I'm about to do. This gets a bit tedious. Yep, that's right. Gotta get the item selector and highlight and right click everything we want to remove. So when you're starting with a fully built world instead of a canvas, you can imagine it takes some doing to remove everything that the creators and the generation scripts have put in. It would also be cool if we could just bury items. I've tried all kinds of things to try to bury items in the ground for people to be able to find, but I have not yet worked out how to do it. I did earlier this morning come across something kind of interesting. So if you, let's see, we'll go to terrain. Make a brush size of 3. And elevation delta, let's take a little bit of a hole here. Oh, we want to do this on flat ground though. Alright. Alright, so we got a decent sized hole here. Higher than a person anyway. So now, if I put something in here, this is what I was trying to do this morning. I was trying to bury some pirate treasure for y'all to find. Go in here, go in the object editor, grab a treasure chest, and we smack that bad boy in the bottom of the hole. And then we go to terrain, and we want to backfill that with, oh, I don't know, not Necropolis, I don't think. Maybe some highland dirt. So we do this, and when you try to bury the treasure chest, that's not what you expect, is not what happens. The chest rises up. And then I found this material, interred air. It's like, that's interesting. Interred air, maybe that kind of suggests that you can make a pocket with that. So then I tried adding interred air, but the treasure chest floats on the interred air. The idea being, do this. Do it. Do it. Jack and Coke. Do it. Do it. Do it. Anyway, sorry. Sorry for that sidetrack. So with the air, the idea was that I will put air in around this. So then I thought, oh, wait a second. What if it's just because I can't have air where the chest is? That's pushing it up, right? So if we go back to the terrain editor, we take this out, and that chest, that's kind of weird, right? It doesn't sit in a tile, it looks like. Let's see if we can change that. I don't think you can. I think that's how it's meant to be. I think it has to intersect the corners to, maybe it has something to do with how it stays above the... Yeah, see, I can't place it there where it would be... Alright, let's go to edit selection. Sometimes it's hard to tell if you've got the right area selected or not. Alright, we'll do that. Do that. Is that the whole thing? Yeah, I guess it is. Okay. And then we'll take out that square where the chest is. So now, in theory, we've got a selection, but I think, see that? I think the chest does sort of... It does overlap that tile just a little bit. It doesn't sit neatly inside of this tile. Oh, I was still on the edit tool. Turn it off. Oh, hey, look at that. Okay, now it is sitting neatly on the tile. Alright, so the idea behind all this is that we are creating a pattern around our chest where we are going to put some terrain of interred air. And we'll do... That's fine. That should be fine. We'll switch to use selection. Oh, it has to... The brush has to touch the selection when you place it. And when I do that, it ships out because I can't... Okay, there we go. Nope. I can't... Oh my god, this is hilarious. I can't not select the chest. That's fine, whatever. The air is not gonna... Alright, so now we've got... You can see that? We've got interred air in this hole. Everywhere except where the chest is. So now, if I take something like... Cave crumbles. Use selection. Oh, this is different behavior than what I saw before. All right. I'll take that down. All right, now we're even with the surface. Let's get rid of this selection use. So I guess you could do that. and then there's just kind of like a, huh. So as long as I don't actually cover the treasure chest, this kind of works. Maybe you could do something like if you wanted to bury treasure for people, you could do that. And then put something that they're likely to want to, like this. Oh, it fell down the hole. All right. So the problem comes if you want to completely bury something, then you have to put the terrain there. And as soon as I put any terrain on top of this, it just raises everything below it up. It doesn't fill this in. Even when I did like that, you want to try to paint across it. Maybe if I do level, it's probably, yeah, see? It raises the chest right out of the ground. And now I've seen somewhat you can select an item. Oh, we didn't want to add that. But I got this selected. Select the chest. You can hit S, which seems to drop it down, or you can hit W. Oh, now it's gone invisible on me. Let's see. I could swear I had it working to where the thing was going up and down with W and S, but alright. Anyways, whatever. But now if we break this, this is the cool thing about the interred air, and I think that this is probably, it's not exactly the mechanism because they're able to actually bury the bogey dungeon. But you see that? The interred air, as soon as you break into it, everything that was above it collapses. Oh my god, look at that. We caused a chain reaction. The interred air caused an explosion. Holy moly. Look what we did. Ground zero. It's got a crater. That is what, oh my god, look at all this stone from blowing up the world. Can't resist a little monster slime. Sorry. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. Maybe this is almost kind of shifting the idea. Because this is like devastation, right? Alright. Oh, and there's stuff popping up everywhere now. I think I must have broken into the ground where there was spawns. I have not seen, so when I was experimenting with the interred air earlier, it did not do this. It blew a small hole like a bogey dungeon. This was like an atomic bomb. This just nuked the whole world and rescaled the... Look at this. The whole topology of the entire area. Oh my god, it's all rescaled. That's nuts. And did it? It did break the city because it hit the topology on the edge of it. Oh, it crumbled the stairs. Come on. Alright, so maybe the vision is shifting, that we're now doing it during the catalysm instead of before. Oh dear, look at that. The stairs are sunken. The sunken steps. Alright. So let's get something built here and done that we can call done. Go in the terrain tool. Get ourselves a nice big brush. And I'm thinking like sandy riverbank, crumbly dirt, cave crumbles, cave rock. Highland dirt gravelly. Rocky riverbank. I know there was a... Oh, there we go. Sandy riverbank. Okay. So let's give ourselves some... Give ourselves some level of terrain around this. Uh-oh, my brush is locked on. I am wiping out the world as I go now. I haven't figured out how this happens yet either. Somehow you can get it to where the brush continues painting even when you're not holding the mouse button. Alright. Well, look at that. We blew a massive hole in the world here. Oh, and I just erased over my wall. Okay, yeah, this is definitely going to be... We're on deposit, so we should be filling this in. Alright, do we have a decent amount of ground built up to call it an island? Yeah, we kind of do. Alright, so now we're going to go in the terrain. We're going to go an even bigger brush. We're going to max out the brush size. We're going to go to smooth average. We're going to go around the edge of what we've done. I need this to be more off. You want to just kind of clip the edge of the high ground because that's going to kind of nicely level things out and give you natural looking graded terrain. I don't know if I can't zoom out far enough. I'm gonna have to move the character over here. Back to terrain, and we want smooth average, reasonable elevation delta. And again, you want to just kind of work the edges of where you built up the ground. And if it's really crazy high like this, you might want to just give it a couple taps. This will take the high point down. You can go just on the edges. Alright, I'm gonna use smaller brush size here. Alright, and we need to level it into the city as well. It's interesting that part of this got the grass like as if there was water around and part of it didn't. Alright, we'll go back out to our bigger brush. Continue rounding out around this edge. And we need to build up the terrain around the city a little bit more, so we're going to go with something more rocky. Let's see. First things first, let's get the character in the middle of the city so we can see what we're doing. Actually, I don't want to teleport because it's going to break tiles and mess everything up. There we go. Now, how did our little set piece do? Alright. So yeah, saving stuff is going to be really key for me because I can be really disciplined and create something for about 30 minutes to an hour, and then once I've created that, I go off on tangents. So if I could save set pieces like this and then later assemble them when I have all the pieces, that would be a good build flow for me. Oh, did the water escape over here? Or did we ever have water here? Oh, that broke. That's right. Alright, we'll do this quadrant first. So what we need to do is we need rock coming up to the city. So I'm going to actually use the edit selector. And we'll go a few squares out from the edge in both directions. It's reasonable. And then we'll make sure the entire city itself is deselected. We'll deselect the stairs too. How about that? Did we successfully deselect the stairs? I think we did. Alright, and then we'll go to terrain. And we'll give ourselves some... What do you think? I think actual rock. Go to use selection. All right, now we'll keep that rock. We will get rid of the selection so it doesn't mess us up for anything else. Why isn't it snapping? Added selection. Interesting. Okay. So I'll get a much smaller brush, like 2. Come in here. Don't want that on right now. And yeah, we'll go smooth average. And we're just gonna actually let's smooth max first to build things up to level. We might even need to go straight deposit in some of this area. Let's go down to 1. Go to deposit. Get a higher elevation delta, and we're just going to draw in here to fill this in. Oh, the starting of the ruination. One little slip of the mouse and it's all over. That's why I need a Control Z. Because trying to take that off. Actually, it's terrain, so it might not be that bad. Let's try it. That wasn't too horrible. We're gonna leave the stairs not built up, because I think we're gonna show the beginning of the destruction here. I think it's the final piece. It would be good to have like Unity's tools to be able to fly through the scene when you're doing this. Actually, I never tried. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the flight controls for inspecting Unity scene don't behave unless maybe they do, and there's just a non-standard modifier key. Alright. I think that's kind of good. That's probably goodish. Go with a slightly higher brush, lower elevation detail delta, and get some more stone in here. We want to end up making something like a circular island here because we're talking about Atlantis, so. Alright, and now we can go more to smooth average. And go with a gigantic brush. A reasonable elevation delta. Kind of coming around the city. And kind of level things off a little bit. I think I do need a smaller brush for the corners. Smaller brush, maybe 5, and a smaller elevation detail delta. So yeah, my process is, I don't know how you would say it, chaotic? I think that's the right word. It's a lot of experimenting and throwing paint on the canvas and seeing what wants to come out and then kind of shaping that and providing detail to it. Okay, so now we're gonna go with gravel, and we're gonna go with a fairly large brush size actually. Gonna go to deposit, and we're gonna right click and go around the edge of where our stone ends. Oh, but we need a much larger elevation delta. Okay, I'll teleport around a little bit and check this out. That should probably be a little bit deeper. This is where it gets kind of kooky. Trying to make everything line up and match nicely. Oh, wasn't even paying attention. Oh, that guy was level 8. No wonder I died. Fun times. Alright. Back to the mission at hand here. Alright, we're on the island. Oh my god, there's monsters everywhere! Alright, you know what? We're gonna clean up this island, the canal, a little bit real quick. We're just gonna do this, and this, and this. Oh, that is too high. Take about half of it. No. I don't know how or why that happens, but sometimes it gets stuck to even where I'm not holding the button, it's still painting. I really haven't figured it out. It doesn't seem... Okay, I'm right clicking now. You need to take lava away, not add lava. Stop it. Alright, I need to completely exit the builder tool. See that? I have no idea why it does that. I can't, I'm not holding the mouse, it's just painting. Now I can't even get rid of it because it's not letting me right click. Oh dear lord. Why does stuff always melt down when I'm on stream? I'm right clicking. Why are you adding more? Alright, you know what? I don't understand why this is. There we go. Now it's letting me take it out. Oh dear, I just poured it into the middle of the lava. Alright. There we go. Nice little lava sponge. Take all out of the land. Hopefully we didn't destroy the whole city. No, we did not. Okay, that's good. All I wanted to do was fill the canal with lava to kill all the monsters. It's behaving as expected again now, so we can clear all this out of here. Right. Let's get this. That. Okay. And we need to come back to our terrain editor. We still got some work to do on making this island like an island. Actually, right here, we're going to do something different. We're actually going to build this up. Because this isn't a ship thing anymore. And let us, for a moment, just level. Alright. Terrain editing, we're going to pause it. Just a little bit. We're going to go around the outside ring of this because what we're trying to do is create a description of a. Of course, it won't be a city, it'll be a lum platform surrounded by rings of water and land. Or a ring of water and a ring of land, since we're going to run out of room on the map. But And we're gonna go back, terrain, brush size down. Yeah, I guess I should be clear on these. Like, if I'm making a tutorial video, that's gonna be very clear and concise and do this, do this, do this, or you find this here, find that there. If I just say I'm building something on stream, that's what I'm doing, and my process is kind of chaotic, so if you are into that and want to see the chaos, cool. But don't expect on a live stream to come and find like a clear lessons plan. It's not. That's not what it is. It's not a course. It's an act of creation, and it can be chaotic and weird, and it can go off on tangents, and it can start off to be one thing and end up to be something totally different, because when I'm creating something, if what I'm creating changes in my mind while I'm creating it, then I also try to change it in the world. So that's how that works. All right, I think it's time for an initial pass of water in our ring, the first water ring around the city. And let's make the depth a little bit more reasonable, like unlike what we did with the lava. Let's see what a depth of 18 does in this space. And we're still on lava. Alright, we don't want lava. We want water. Thank you very much. It's so cool how the water flows. It'll be even cooler once there's, I think they talked about putting erosion, so like if you did something like this, it would be so awesome if instead of having to come and smooth out these edges, if you were making a riverbank, you just drop the water like that and let the water flowing over the edge into the area meant to contain it. Just let that flow smooth the terrain at the edge. That would be so cool. But right now, what we're doing, we're gonna rough out the terrain, and then we're gonna get the water to a level that we like it, and then we'll go back and polish the terrain. We'll do little sections at a time to make it look just how we like it. Alright, I'm gonna need to travel around a bit. Is that reaching the level of the land? It is. Still got plenty it can flow down over here though. Hooray for fluid dynamics! Uh-oh, we got river fangs in our water already. They're like those damn goby fish. Okay. don't think this works. Now I'm not sure. Oh, look, this is a forbidden zone. We can't go in here. I didn't even pay attention to that when I started building this. Oh, is that overflowing the... I think we are over here. Oh no, maybe not. No, that's fine. Let's get our selection tool. Now we're just gonna select the area where the stairs are. Or were, as the case may be. And we're gonna drop some tile, some terrain there. See if we can get the stairs to raise back up out of the earth. No, we just annihilated them. I thought the tile set would stay sitting on top of the terrain, but this terrain just went right over it. It's weird because it didn't do it up there. Are the stairs still down there? No, they are gone. Huh. And I think we will play with just at least a little bit of lava, just showing things are starting to not be so great. We've already got some of this here, some of the burned stuff. This area should not have water in it. That needs to get out of there. Sponge that out. Alright, go with lava. We're gonna go a very small depth just to be safe here. Alright, so we want to make it clear that the magma is starting to come up out of the earth around this fabled city, Doom. Small, bigger still. What does this pause button do? Toggle fluid simulation. Oh, okay, so you can stop it from moving. If you wanted to, like, build a certain shape of it somewhere, I guess. Alright, we can start smoothing out the edges of the island a little bit now, I think. First things first, though, and that we don't want to keep getting killed, so I'm gonna just quickly... Bye-bye. Alright, eke out a DMZ for ourselves here. Alright, and we'll sort of shape the edge of the island here. Maybe we'll even give ourselves a temporary structure to stand on to see it better. Okay. Terrain editing. And we're gonna do some smooth average to start mostly up on the terrain. Just a little bit off of it. We'll come to like half and half. Oh, elevation delta, let's bring that up just a little bit. Again. mostly on and slightly off. We can make another pass that's more off and less on. We'll make one right on the ridge. And then we can kind of repeat that process, more on, less off. Alright, that looks kind of more natural, right? And we could do the same thing over here. Are we right on the edge? Yeah, we are really, aren't we? Oh no, let's get right on the edge. Yeah, we are right on the edge. Why can't I see my character? Is she in the water? She is in the water. Okay. Oh, that's a no-go area. Okay. And we'll do the same thing here. We'll just quickly build ourselves a little scaffolding to work from so we can get a better view. Okay, that could get smoothed out a little bit more. Terrain. We guys ourselves a bigger brush. Smooth average. I'm just gonna tap it. And then over here, we're going to come back to the same thing we were doing before. More on the high ground and just off of it. And then we'll do another pass that's more off and just a little bit on. Do another pass right down the middle. Do it. Do it. Jack and Coke. Do it. All right. I love the music in this game so much. John Robert, you're awesome. All right. Not as much smoothing needing to be done over here, but still some. That's still a little rough, so at least this will be a quick pass because it's mostly pretty well graded already. So we're just gonna take a smallish brush. I think even that should be fine. Let's see what it's like just doing one straight down the center. Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't think it really needs more than that over here. Maybe a touch here. In all reality, we need to dig the water wider. It shouldn't be... Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that right now. This is because this is supposed to be like a ring of water inside a massive island before another ring. Oh, we don't want to be averaging. We want deposit and right click. We want to be digging a trench over here. See how this looks now after we just did that. Still needs, that needs to be wider. We don't need to dig it quite as deep though. So the whole landscaping, terraforming thing, I don't know. Like, I don't know if how that would work. I kind of think longer term, I'd focus more on making set pieces that you can drop into a procedural world. Because otherwise, once you've made a server and you've done all this terraforming, then you're either going to get the same exact terraform world every time, which is going to be kind of defeating the point of the procedural generation. Because you want it to be different, right? Or you have one world that you just have forever that never ever changes, which is kind of not very exciting either. So I'm having fun doing this, the whole landscaping. I wonder how big of a set piece we'll be able to save. It would be nice to be able to save like a mountain or an island or something like that. I guess it depends on how big the worlds end up being too. And how far, like what's the scope of the editor? I can only zoom out so far, so even if I made something bigger than this, I couldn't see it in one view. You'd have to actually go in and explore it. There would be no screenshot. That's kind of been the upper bounds of what I've made so far. Like, what can I zoom out all the way and fit in a single view? Same thing where it was high contrast on the other side. Start with a pass of... Oh, actually, I should be doing mostly on and just a little off for the first pass. I did that backwards. Alright, let's get down here on the beach and take a look. Not too bad. A little clunky chunky. Off my island, you weirdos. Definitely the destructions that happen in the game are a little more fine-grained than the building. There probably is a way in the building tools that I just haven't found yet to smooth out things like that. But I found that even in most of the things that I built, there'll be a small area where I just feel like I gotta use a pickaxe or I gotta use a spell to kind of smooth the edges a little bit. I can't wait for, well, I can't wait for a lot of things. But it's going to be cool if, you know, if we can save worlds and if we can get some kind of, I don't know, maybe it's just going to be down to a lot of people playing with it and figuring it out, documenting it. It would be kind of cool to have at least some guidance of how it's meant to be used. If not, that's fine. I read the Agile Manifesto. There is value in documentation. There's just more in functioning applications. So I would rather have the app and be able to use it than have the documentation. I'd rather have one more feature or two more features than have documentation. So don't take me the wrong way. I just would be a much faster process getting up to speed with some of the intricacies. I guess maybe if you're, but I don't. Anyways, I don't know. I'm rambling now, and there's almost no one watching. If you are still here, one person on Twitch, say hi. A wave. Because my throat's getting sore, and if you're still here, I'll keep going, but if not, I'm going to take a break. Come on. Stop. Did that actually work? It did actually work. instead of necessarily before the cataclysm. So it's like, think, okay, this is the center island of Atlantis, and this is the temple on that center island, and volcanic stuff is just starting to happen. So it's not going to be pristine, but it's not going to be ruins either. It's going to be right at that moment. So anyway, I think we're off to a good start. We've got a center island, we've got our first water ring, we've got the foundation of the temple, we've got some smoothing on the island, we've got a lot of set dressing to do, a lot of probably reconstruction of some of the stuff that broke that we don't necessarily want to be broken on the temple itself. And yeah, so that's it for now. We'll pick this back up later. I will be streaming a ton all week this week. We'll be doing gameplay, we'll be doing building, we'll be doing destroying, we'll be doing all kinds of stuff. So yeah, thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you on another stream. Don't forget, Darkhaven. Go to Moonbeast Darkhaven Discord. Jump in there. The community is awesome. If you have not downloaded this demo, like if you play RPGs, especially ARPGs, but honestly, what they're doing with this is it's coloring outside the lines a little bit, and I think that it might appeal to people that play RPGs that ARPG hasn't really been a thing for. And if you love ARPGs and you're hardcore, don't worry, that experience is preserved. But the modding here, I think it's going to allow us to really make a lot of different flavors of this game. Like, you could get in and make your own world and make it totally your flavor, or you can have, you know, one that, anyways, that's not what this video is about. This is about Builder. But anyway, support this game, support this team, download the demo on Steam for Darkhaven and play it if you haven't. Go to Kickstarter and support them if you agree that this game is going to be incredibly amazing. We need to get these guys the resources that they need so that they can give us the game that we need. And with that, peace out.